This is illegal. You can't go and work somewhere for not even for one day without having a work contract. This lady asked me a lot of intimate and personal questions like who pays the rent, where do I live, who is my roommate, if I have a boyfriend, a husband, and so on. You can't expect from your employees to have good performances where you let your kid running wild in the office and make your employees stay with them and not actually do the work that they are paid for. I felt really bad about this discussion with her, and I started crying when I went home, and I was thinking about the fact that do I really need to go through all of this awful experience just to get a job? I mean, do I really need to feel this emotional distress? Hi, my name is Cornelia. I work as a recruiter and I usually post here videos about how to get a job, what to say not to say in job interviews, how to build your CV, and how to behave in different corporate environments. So yeah, if you would like to see this kind of videos, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. And in today's video, I wanted to tell you my worst experience in an interviewing/recruiting process that took 3 days. I mean, 4 days, if we count the first interview as well. This happened in 2020 when the COVID and pandemic period just started. I finished my bachelor program and I finished it in general psychology, and I wanted to work in work psychology because this was the subdomain of psychology that I chose to study in my master's. And I was looking for positions as a work psychologist or as a person that works within HR for a company. And believe me, I was doing a lot of interviews for a lot of random jobs just because there are not that many positions out there for the roles that I was looking for. So I found this job ad as a work psychologist. I submitted my CV and I get the call, I go to the interview. The interviewer were 2 employees. The only 2 employees of the company, and the boss, which was this lady psychologist with a lot of degrees and whatever. The first part of the interview was pretty okay. And then when they saw that I actually have skills, that I'm actually prepared for this job, they start asking me things like, are you okay cleaning? Then they ask me if I always look like this. I mean, I was going to an interview. Of course, I was looking good. I mean, I was wearing a dress, heels, and so on. Anyway, I brushed it off because I really liked the position in terms of the description that I've read on the job ad. And at the end of the interview, they're telling me that they want me to go there and work for 3 days so they can see if I like the position there and if I will be a good fit. So yeah, of course, I was desperate and I said yes. But this is a really big red flag. This is illegal. You can't go and work somewhere for not even for one day without having a work contract or without having a legal paper that states that you are going there and doing something there with that specific company. They actually needed another person to help them with their work. This was the truth, not the fact that they want to check my skills and check if I like working there and so on. And among the things that I had to do, or the things that they made me do while being there, was to assess the people's abilities to work in this specific field. And I wasn't a psychologist, right? I wasn't hired there as a psychologist. I was just a psychology graduate at that point. And basically they were telling me to do all of these things that I wasn't legally allowed to do, right? I was supervised by the employees there, but I mean, I wasn't allowed to do this. This wasn't legal. The people that came there, they didn't knew the fact that I wasn't employed there. So they were like, oh yeah, she's a psychologist employed here. Another thing that pissed me off was the fact that they put us to eat together. We ate in the office of the boss. During the lunch break, this lady asked me a lot of intimate and personal questions like who pays the rent, where do I live, who is my roommate, if I have a boyfriend, a husband, and so on. And I'm like, lady, it's the second time where I'm seeing you in my life. Why should I share all of this personal information with you? And of course, I felt pressure to answer to all of them, even though I didn't want it to. I was brushing this off because, as I said, I wanted this job. I think that I was a good fit for it, and I was willing to, get through all of these pressuring questions that made me feel uncomfortable. Moving forward, in the second day, when I get to the office, the lady boss told me to help her child do his homework. What? So this is something that I forgot to mention. From the first day of me being there was this kid that was like there in the office, and I found from the employers there that this child was the child of the boss. She was basically bringing her child to work, and this child wasn't like staying there or doing his lessons or being quiet and so on. No, he was bugging us, wanted to stay with us, wanted to play with him and so on. And yeah, he's a kid. I mean, I understand this, but you can't expect from your employees to have good performances where you let your kid running wild in the office and make your employees stay with them and not actually do the work that they are paid for. She told me to do this homework with the kid. I did the homework with it, but this was really inappropriate. I mean, is this like a stage in the recruitment process to see if I get along with your child and if I'm willing to play with him and help him doing his homework? I mean, what? In the second day, I actually bonded with the two ladies that were employed there. And they proceeded to tell me a lot of weird things that happened in that specific company. For example, one of them told me that she has to clean the toilets every week. They didn't have a cleaning personnel there, right? They actually needed to clean everything. So when they asked me in the interview if I'm okay with cleaning, they were referring to the fact that I have to clean toilets, clean the bathroom, and actually clean the office because I didn't have someone hired to do all of these things, yeah? Another red flag was the fact that one of the employers just had a major medical operation, and at that moment in time, she needed to be in her medical leave to recover, and the boss called her and told her that no, she has to come to work because they need her to actually work, and this girl can barely move, and she was in pain all the time, and she was there working. And I'm like, how can you not have empathy for this lady? She just had a major medical problem. She needed to stay at home and rest. She told us that she can't even wash her hair without the help of her husband, and you pressure her to come to the office when she should have stayed home and recovered herself. I mean, oh my God, this is such a red flag. And she was paid with minimum wage. I mean, she told me her salary. And yeah, remember when I've told you that they were impressed by the fact that I actually dress nicely? One of the employees told me that I should leave my heels at home because my heels will destroy the new floor. They wanted me to dress nicely, but at the same time, they told me that I'm not allowed to wear heels because my shoes will destroy the floor. Moving forward to the nail in the coffin of my whole experience, at the end of the second day, the boss lady told me to stay for a few minutes because she wanted to offer me feedback. The conversation started pretty normally. She gave me feedback on my performance during the 2 days there. She told me that she likes me, she wants to hire me, blah, blah, blah. And after that, she proceeds to ask me all of these questions about me having kids. And this is a subject that is very personal for me. I don't want to speak with anyone at work about this, and not only about having kids, about my private life with my boyfriend as well. I actually didn't answer to all of these questions, and I told her to stop asking me this because I'm not going to answer, and it's my problem and not hers. And she felt really offended by this. I'm not gonna lie. I left home, felt really bad about this discussion with her, and I started crying when I went home, and I was thinking about the fact that, do I really need to go through all of this awful experience just to get a job? I mean, do I really need to feel this emotional distress, knowing that this is the worth that I have, working 10 hours per day, being asked intrusive questions, or pressure me doing all of this extra stuff that are not really in my job description? The answer, of course, was no. This was, in fact, a really, really bad workplace. So the answer to my questions were like, no, I'm not gonna accept a position working here, and it's totally fine. I mean, I prefer to work in another field that is not the field where I've studied for, and have better conditions. Hi, Editing Cornelia here. I forgot to mention this one thing, which I think that it's important as well in my story. The boss lady told me straight into my face the fact that she doesn't like my name. My name is Cornelia. She said that it's hard to pronounce and she doesn't want to use it, and wanted to give me a nickname and call me in the office by the nickname that she wanted to give me. And yeah, I'm not quite sure if this is a red flag or in which category should I put it, but I just want to tell you that the other ladies that were working there, so the employees that were working there, they also had nicknames given by this boss lady. Just another thing that shows the disrespect of this lady to their employees and to me as a candidate. And then in the third day, I was in fact lucky that the boss and her child wasn't there, and there were only these two employees. And in fact, we bonded a lot more. These two ladies that were employed there, they were really nice. At the end of the day, I told them that I don't want to work there because all of these things. I mean, I didn't tell them exactly that I saw a lot of red flags in this job. I guess that they knew why I wanted to refuse the offer that was going to come most likely the week after that. If you don't feel comfortable during a recruitment process, if your possible employer is asking you all of these weird questions and all of these things that you have to do, most likely that workplace is not the best. And yeah, if you don't feel great about that job opportunity, just don't do it. Don't accept it. You'll find another job. And this happened in my case as well. In the evening of that third day, one of my colleagues from university called me and said that her company is hiring HR recruiters and that I should submit my CV and so on. So yeah, there are other opportunities out there. This job that my colleague from university told me about was in fact the first job that I got within HR with the first company that I've worked after that for the next 3 years. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe if you of course like this video, and I hope that this helped you in any way by maybe seeing some red flags, or I don't know, not accepting positions where you actually feel awful about. Don't forget to check my other videos where I'm talking about 3 interviewing very cringe experience that I had before. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.